Hey everybody, it's Tracy, and I wanted to talk about the UK payment institution license, which is commonly confused with the UK electronic money issuer license, and why it's useful and where it's useful. And generally speaking, what the payment institution license allows you to do is act as a payment service like for remittance, issue prepaid like payment related cards, but stop short of accepting deposits or any bank related service, right? So even like being a payment gateway for e-commerce, stuff like that is what it covers, okay? And then all forms of like prepaid card, whether it's like a loyalty card or something like that, you can do. Debits and accepting deposits in the sense of like a PayPal, which would be like an electronic money issuer, would fall under the scope of the EMI license. Right. And so for basic like payment transfer and even mobile money, the payment institution license is usually all you need. And in many cases, what I've seen is that people go for the electronic money institution license, which obviously on a longer term scale is probably more viable or perhaps more attractive, but not necessary for the origination of the idea or the launch of the platform, if you will. What you really have is this like dichotomy of kind of what you want to do. And there's also obviously the back door, which is like neobanking relationships and getting the ability to issue debits and accept deposits through that financial institution relationship, as opposed to getting a license, which you are not required to get in order to be a neobank in the UK. And of course, the beauty through PSD2 is that the payment institution license will passport through the EU and EEA, provided there's a similar license in that nation's lexicon, which there is in literally every country. So it's very viable throughout Europe, geographic Europe, and it's considerably easier and less expensive to get the license. The capital requirements are lower, starting at £100,000 or 2% of payment volume if you're like an existing entity, which in most instances you wouldn't be because it would require some license elsewhere. And the costs just generally are less enhanced, mostly because of like your auditing and legal fees and obviously your capital requirements for the EMI. So it's generally speaking a very valuable launch point, especially targeting Europe. Now, when it comes to crypto, there are things you can do that are just payment related, because under the payment institution license, it also covers foreign exchange. So if you just wanted to operate a service like an XE, where it's a money remittance platform, but basically an international money remittance platform, or even like a Wise, where really the value is foreign currency exchange, you can do that. Now, crypto assets aren't considered legal tender in the UK, but the Payment Institution Act was amended in such a way that basic transfers, right, of crypto or conversions of crypto can be covered under this license, as opposed to needing the separate digital asset license or the EMI license, right? So if you think about exchange, where it's peer-to-peer and trading engine, not going to be covered. But if it's a simple, like a MoonPay or something like that, if you think of those models, then yes, the payment institution license actually would sort of be grandfathered in underneath that. So it's a much unforeseen license in the sense that people think EMI, that's the way to go in the UK because there's so many of them and they offer this array of services. But so much of, and you see this, just like a simple Google search of UK EMIs will bring up thousands of them. The reality is most UK EMIs don't actually do anything beyond what they can do with the payment institution license, right? They're not offering their own mobile wallets. They're not offering any sort of e-money services. They're offering IBANs and payment gateways and stuff like that, which with a payment institution license, you can do for less cost and greater ease. And like in terms of the regulatory review and the process itself, while the FCA will say it'll take no more than 6 months, typically it'll take around 4 if you kind of know what you're doing and put the application together correctly. And obviously the application is just the normal stuff, right? Extensive KYC on who you are and who your partners are. You need a UK company, audited financials, a business plan, which is always silly and stupid, but you have to have one, and then an array of policies and procedures related to compliance, right? It's mostly a function of AML and KYC, as it is with the EMI license and the digital asset license in the UK. So it's an interesting place, especially to start, right? And I think it's to a lot of EMI's detriment that they just didn't get that license and went ahead and did the EMI license one for what their primary business is. They don't need the greater license with greater capital requirements, greater ongoing costs, so on and so forth. So that is the UK payment institution license in a nutshell. Definitely hit me up if you have any questions. Adam at adamtracy.io, and I will talk to you next time. Cheers.